A home for their babies. 1. Joan Bramschke is a famous writer of children's books. This delightful story tells us about the joys of caring. Early Saturday morning, Mother peeked into Peggy's room.
"Time to get up,"
she said.
"You'll want to do your chores before ball practice."
"Sure, Mom,"
mumbled Peggy as she burrowed under the covers.
"I'm coming."
"Pigata,
Mother tickled her daughter's toes.
get up."
Peggy giggled and bounced out of bed. Her golden curls bounced too.
"I'm up."
"Happy spring,"
said Mother.
"It is?"
"Yes."
She replied at the door.
"Open your window and let it in."
"Okay, Mom. Happy spring."
Peggy dressed in a hurry. She made her bed in a hurry. She brushed her teeth in a hurry. When she rushed towards the stairs, she remembered she had to open the window and hurried back into her room. That was when she came to a screeching halt. Like a swinging statue player, she froze to stare at some visitors on the windowsill. 2 identical, blue-eyed, pale grey birds gazed back at her through the pane. One grey bird pranced about, cooing. Over in the corner, the other bird dropped a twig onto 3 others.
"They're building a nest,"
whispered Peggy. Her brown eyes grew as round as the bird's blue ones.
"I can't disturb them."
Quietly, she knelt to watch. One bird flew away, while the other pecked at the pile. When the first bird returned, it added a 5th twig to the stack. Peggy thought they were slow workers and not very neat.
"I wish I could tell which was the female and which the male,"
said Peggy.
"You have some new neighbors, I see,"
said Mother. She had come to make sure Peggy was up and moving.
"Morning, doves,"
she told her. Peggy smiled at the pair.
"They're here at the right time."
"Not morning doves, honey,"
said Mother with a smile.
MOURNING, morning.
She spelled the name.
It means to be sad.
Peggy peered through the glass.
"They don't look sad to me. I think they get their name because of their soft, cooing song. It does sound kind of sad."
Peggy suddenly giggled.
They could use building lessons from Grandpa.
Mourning doves have a reputation for building flimsy nests,
replied Mother.
"It's good they found your windowsill."
"Otherwise, the wind might blow it away,"
said Peggy. She tipped her head to one side.
"Then would they build another?"
"I've read that a pair might build as many as 5 nests in one season,"
replied Mother.
"They don't give up, do they?"
"Not any more than you did when you decided to make the basketball team,"
said Mother.
"But it's the bird's instinct to build nests and lay eggs."
"So they won't become extinct."
Mother nodded and smiled.
"Your vocabulary is growing."
"I'm going to keep a record on the doves."
Peggy got a notebook from her desk drawer. On the cover she wrote, "Morning doves."
"Good idea,"
said Mother.
"You can track their daily activities like ornithologists do."
Who?
Mother laughed when Peggy made a weird face.
Ornithologist. It means one who studies birds.
Maybe I'll be one.
Maybe,
said Mother.
Now we'll let them do their work. So,
We can do ours, right, Mom?
right.
Each day, Peggy noted the doves' progress. It took them 4 days to build their flimsy nest.
At last, I think they're finished.
For the next 3 days, the pair cuddled in their nest. Peggy feared they would tumble to the ground. She wrote,
Doves cooing and staying in their 17th stick nest.
She'd counted. On the 7th morning, Peggy made a discovery.
Eggs! 2 white eggs!
One dove inspected the eggs, while the other strutted around, cooing proudly. Then Peggy got another surprise. I'm sure you want to know what the surprise is. We will find out in the next lesson. A home for their babies. 2. Peggy made a discovery on the 7th morning. She discovered that the female dove had laid 2 white eggs. Read on to see what happens next. The first dove climbed onto the eggs in the nest, and the other dove flew away. Peggy waited and waited. She took the time to look up mourning doves in her encyclopedia. That was when she got a third surprise. It was the female dove that had flown away while the male dove sat quietly in the nest. When the female didn't return, Peggy told her mother.
The daddy dove is egg-sitting,
She said.
The mama flew away an hour ago. That's not right, is it?
Mother hugged Peggy.
Maybe it's right for doves.
I've got to record this.
Said Peggy, and she ran back to her room for her book. The male dove never left the nest. The female never even visited. Peggy was puzzled. This behavior wasn't like human families that she knew. During the evening of day 12, Peggy went to investigate a loud cooing sound she heard from her room. The sitting dove sat fidgeting on the nest, making a most distressing sound. Then Peggy discovered why the bird was so nervous. The neighbor's cat sat on a nearby limb of the tree outside Peggy's bedroom window.
Oh no!
Cried Peggy.
Samantha is stalking the dove.
What could she do to help? Peggy wondered. Should she run outside and give the tree a hard shake? Should she yell at the cat to go home? Maybe if she threw something at her, she'd leave. A stone, perhaps.
But it would have to be a small stone so Samantha wouldn't get hurt if I did hit her,
she thought. Just then the female dove appeared as if by magic. She flew at the cat, swooping down, trying to take her attention off the nest on the windowsill. She accomplished her aim because the cat skedaddled down the tree limb. It streaked across the lawn and through the hedge back to her house.
And stay there,
ordered Peggy as she shook her finger at the cat's back. On the 14th day, one egg hatched. Peggy saw it happen. First, the egg cracked, while the adult dove only watched and did not help. Tiny chips of shell fell away until finally, the baby dove, all wet and weak, pecked free.
It's born!
Exclaimed Peggy to her mother, who had joined her.
No, I mean, it's hatched.
The male covered the other egg and the baby, called a squab, with his body, but not before Peggy saw that the baby's eyes were closed tight.
Just like a puppy's,
she noted in her journal. When Peggy awoke the next morning, she checked on the baby and discovered 2. She made another entry in her journal.
Both babies seem okay, but I'm worried. The daddy steps on them. How can they breathe when he plops down? I know he warms them because they have no feathers, but he might squash them.
On the 4th day, after the eggs hatched, the baby's eyes opened.
Big, round, bright blue eyes, just like their parents' eyes.
On day 5, the female returned.
She's late.
Peggy told her mother.
All the work is done.
Mother sighed as she ironed her daughter's softball uniform.
Are you sure?
Peggy soon realized she was mistaken. What a job! It took both parents to keep the babies fed and to keep them from falling off the window ledge. Soon the babies doubled in size and grew feathers.
Mother, I can almost watch them grow,
She said at the dinner table that evening.
All babies seem to do that,
Replied Mother.
You were such a good eater that your birth weight doubled in only 3 months.
Wow!
Peggy exclaimed.
From 8 pounds to 16 pounds. That's fast.
Yes, it is.
Said Mother with a smile as she passed Peggy the green beans. On day 10, after the eggs hatched, the parents encouraged their big babies to try their wings. On day 12, all 4 mourning doves flew away. Peggy kept watch for 2 days before she decided they would not return. Then she wrote the last entry in her ornithological journal.
The mourning dove's family flew away at 10 a.m., 24 May 1999. I will miss them, my windowsill surprise.
Then Peggy closed her notebook. She opened her bedroom window to let spring inside, a little late.